In the early months of 1815, an enormous force of nature lurked beneath the surface of the earth, ready to unleash a fury that not even the most powerful generals of Europe had predicted. On the island of Sumbawa in the Indonesian archipelago, Mount Tambora erupted with a cataclysmic explosion that sent vast clouds of ash high into the atmosphere. This eruption was one of the most powerful in recorded history, and it would subtly and significantly alter the course of the Napoleonic Wars. The eruption of Mount Tambora had far-reaching effects, its legacy scattered across continents like a thin veil of dust. This volcanic ash circled the globe, obscuring the sun and reducing overall global temperatures. Crops failed, harvests were poor, and a great famine loomed on the horizon. This climatic anomaly would be coined the year without a summer, and it was sure to have dire consequences for all of Europe's economies, already battered from years of relentless warfare. The effects of Tambora's eruption were deeply felt in 1815 as Napoleon Bonaparte, the once all-powerful emperor, returned from his exile on Elba. Napoleon's audacious escape and subsequent march to Paris marked the beginning of what would become known as the 100 Days, a brief, yet intense, campaign that sought one last grasp at empire. As his troops gathered and his strategies unfurled, little did Napoleon know that a distant volcano would act as both an invisible ally and a silent adversary. The unseasonal cold and heavy rains that followed the eruption led to catastrophic harvests across Europe. As soil chilled to the core and crops withered, the supply chains for Napoleon's army faltered. Horses, essential to the mobility and maneuverability of his cavalry, starved as forage became scarce. Napoleon's strategic brilliance was often demonstrated on horseback, yet the very force that once lent him dynamic presence now waned. Napoleon was pressing his advantage with precision and boldness, yet his grasp was hampered by hunger and weakened resistance. Across the battlefield and on the home front, allies and adversaries alike struggled with depleted resources. In contrast, Waterloo's opposing forces found themselves similarly affected, yet buoyed by robust alliances that provided some respite from nature's wrath. The final confrontation on the muddy plains of Waterloo was marked not only by famed tactical genius and tragic missteps but by a silent phantom in the background: Mount Tambora. Soldiers slogged through mud-drenched fields, supplies were carried through rain-swollen rivers, and commanding officers recalibrated expectations based on the whims of weather. In the end, it was a convergence of human brilliance and natural calamities that sealed Napoleon's fate. Before the smoke cleared from its final shot, Waterloo marked the end of Napoleon's ambitions. The balance of power in Europe was irrevocably altered, and in the raw silence that followed the clamor of war, the echo of a distant eruption lingered.